Hello, everyone, and welcome to Island Fever Live and Island Fever FM, of course, on 98.5 FM in Orlando and on Delicious Vinyl Station on Dash Satellite Radio. Of course, you know it's Candice. How you doing? What a guan? Bringing you the very best from the islands and beyond. And right here with me today, I have the very lovely, the very beautiful, very accomplished Tony Award-winning actress and actress of screen and stage, also a singer, for those of you who didn't know, and now author, Mrs. Sheryl Lee Ralph. Welcome to the show.
Oh, Candice, it's wonderful to be here with you on the show this morning. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for coming out, and thank you for taking the opportunity to come and talk with us and speak to us about everything that's at stake right now. So let's talk about your stance on the election. I know that we did early voting.
We're doing early voting. Early voting. We've got 13 days to go. 13 days till the last day of the election cycle, which is November 3rd. So I want everybody to know, do not wait until November 3rd to get your vote in. I need you to vote now, and I need you to vote early. And if you have any questions about voting, go to iwillvote.com. iwillvote.com and get the answers so that you can plan to vote and vote successfully. iwillvote.com.
iwillvote.com. And we've been pushing that here in Florida and in Orlando. So I know I've seen you do a number of interviews before, and I've seen what you've said about the COVID-19 pandemic and how you feel about that. Now, as someone who almost died from COVID a few months ago, I was very, very sick, and I had pneumonia. It was in my lungs. It was terrible, but I beat it. But I still have long haul syndrome, and I know I would not have caught COVID with a proper plan. So what's Biden's plan for the pandemic, and why do you think Biden is a better choice in terms of just our healthcare?
Well, I think you just said it right there. The plan is to make sure that people have health care. Let me tell you, the orange stain that is occupying the White House, that man is trying to scratch away at health care, trying to tell you, oh, I've got a better plan for you. No go saw you here.
Nothing at all.
The plan that was put together, the plan that was created by Barack Obama with the assistance of Joe Biden, that was the plan that made history in America. That was the plan that gave people with pre-existing conditions who would have been dropped, who would have been let go, who would have never had the opportunity to have health care to begin with. That was the one that works. And it must be a good one, or those people wouldn't be trying to take it away from us the way they are. People always say, well, what did Barack Obama do for me? Barack Obama gave you health care, and you need it. And thank you. Thank you, Candice. And you know from your experience that we need health care.
Yes.
I used to think that we were just worried about high blood pressure, heart disease, asthma. I used to think diabetes. Those were our problems. Who knew that we would have to face a pandemic like Corona? Who knew? Now more than anything, we need health care, and that doggone snake a try to snatch it away from us after we fight so hard to get it.
Exactly.
The plan is to make sure you hold on to your health care. If that's all they did for us right now, because you know it ain't going to take us a year to get over it. It ain't going to take us 2 years to get over it. So, well, that's halfway through their term. If that's all they did was save the health of America, God bless them.
For real. So from the pandemic, moving on to a plan, right? with
Yes.
regards to the Caribbean Americans, and you and I are both Jamaican
Yes.
Americans.
Big up with self. Big up with self. Yes.
Of course, big up JA every time. So with that thought process and us achieving our American dream, there's a lot that has been done to erode the immigration or make it difficult. As a matter of fact, the costs for any form of permanent stay in the United States is going to double at the end of this month. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think that Biden has a plan for the Caribbean Americans?
Let me tell you something. When I look at the American dream, look at yourself.
Yeah.
Look at that. You working, living in Jamaica, you seeking higher education,
Yes.
coming to America, you seeking the American dream, and now with your owning your business, your company, that only happens in a place like America.
Yeah.
There are not many other countries that do that for people, where you can have a dream, come and make that dream a reality.
Yes.
I will never ever forget when the orange stain, the occupier of the White House, said about us, about people like us, those people from those SHIT whole countries.
Yeah.
He said it out loud. He told us and the world what he thought about us, and he immediately put into action how to stop us from achieving our dream. If you were just having your dream now and him in office, think about how much more difficult it would be for you to achieve that dream. Kamala Harris, she is an immigrant's child, a Jamaican father, an East Indian mother. She knows fully well what it is and what is needed for us as people, for us as Caribbean Americans, and she has the ear of who will be the next president of these United States. So just as she is going out there to care and bring up the conversation of HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities, having been a graduate of one Howard University herself, honey, that makes all the difference for us. All the difference. Things don't change until the gatekeeper changes, until the person who understands your struggle, the person who understands your need, stands there and says, I get it, I understand it, and I am there for you. When we put that person in a position of power, everything changes for us. So I believe Biden and Harris, you're thinking about immigration, you want changes to immigration, you're going to vote for the man who says you are SHIT whole people? Is that what you're going to do and feel good about that? Or are you going to vote for a change?
Yes.
I know I'm voting for change.
Absolutely. Now, Sheryl, I know that you're very passionate about Trump and people coming out against Trump. I would not be a journalist if I did not ask you about your thoughts on on celebrities who have come out, African-American celebrities who have come out in service to Donald Trump because they want to keep their money and pay less taxes. What do you have to say to the people coming from nothing? Now there's something, and they want to vote for someone who wants to keep people like them down?
First of all, let's be clear. I am passionate about removing the orange stain that is currently occupying the White House. When people talk about rising taxes, please understand, taxes always rise, always. At
Mm-hmm.
the start of America, the tax used to be on tea. That was the tax. Well, now the tax is money. The tax is on clothes. The tax is on food. The tax is on flights, air flights back
Mm-hmm.
to and from our doggone islands. When
Yes.
when we look at the cost of our tickets, half of our tickets is in taxes. So
Mm-hmm.
please, we can't say we're afraid of taxes. Taxes are part of America. Some states, they don't have certain taxes. But, the orange stain, he's an opportunist. He don't like to pay tax. So
Mm.
he moved down to Florida so he don't have to pay tax. But even when he was in a state that did have certain taxes, he figured out, well, I don't want to pay tax. And he paid less tax than everybody.
Mm. And
That's
want
not
to
right.
drive on the roads that the taxes pay for, and wants to
Thank
be
you.
able, and actually got health care by taxpayers when he contracted coronavirus, which I
Thank
found very
you.
interesting.
That's not right. That's not right.
No, not at all.
His whole thinking is not right. So
Mm-mm.
if you're going to make a few $1 million, right? A few $1 million, and you don't want to give back, you have forgotten a lesson that we all learned. To whom much is given, much is required.
Quite so.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
You don't want
Yes.
to pay into the emergency services that we have, that our taxes go to. How selfish are you?
Mm.
You want to just keep it for yourself, like that awful occupier, that nasty greasy orange stain on America. That
Mm.
is who you want to be like. I'm ashamed when I
Yes.
hear people talk about they don't want their taxes to rise. You're damn fool, you. You just no, seriously.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
and your damn ignorance. How
Mhm.
dare you?
Yes.
How dare you? I'm
Yes.
just
Someone
who
has
are
to help
you?
you to get where you are. Why are you not reaching back and assisting those who have a dream, the same dream that you have?
Thank you.
It-
That
it-
part.
it's ridiculous. And I mean, with my little bit, I do as much as I can with my foundation to help young people who are artistic and want to express themselves and might not necessarily get into Howard, but they might get into a technical college and need a little bit of help.
The first thing most Caribbean people do when they get to America, they gonna make money.
Yes.
Because when I have one job, we
Somewhere.
have 3 jobs. 1, 2, 3 jobs. And we're going to open a small business too.
Yes. Yes.
That's
Yes.
how it's clear.
Yes.
That's who we are. We are going to make some money.
And that
In fact,
industriousness is
yes,
something that America used during the industrial era to build the nation that they have today. We are a nation of immigrants. We can all trace our lineage back to not
someplace
being a
else.
part of this country, and exactly
right.
for someplace else. And that's why the immigration policies that are being put forward are so draconian and really against the Caribbean American interest. And I really hope people go out and vote. Sheryl, could you tell me a little bit about what your thoughts are on some of the voter suppression that seems to be happening in places like Georgia, Texas, and of course here in Florida?
See, that's why we must realize the power of our vote.
Mm.
See, we are in the midst of a nasty time.
Mm.
Whenever you see voter suppression, that is when you must realize, wow, I've got the power. If you did not have the power, they would not be coming for your vote. If you did not have the numbers, they would not be coming for your vote. Since the beginning of the Civil Rights Voting Act, they have been trying to suppress, and even before, let me correct myself, even before, since the time that Black people ex-slaves, free people got the right to vote. They have been trying to suppress those votes because the numbers are there.
Yeah.
If people of color come together, organize,
Mm.
strategize their vote, things change. In this election, I was asked by another interviewer, what would you say to white women who voted for Trump in the past? I would say to
Mm.
them, like I'm going to say right now, vote like a black woman.
Yes, ma'am. Agreed. Vote
Vote
black woman.
like a black woman
Mhm.
because we have the power, we
Yes.
have the numbers, and we can make a change. So don't let them suppress your vote. If you don't receive your ballot, your early vote ballot within a reasonable amount of time, get yourself to the polling station. Get yourself there. Don't let them take your vote. Don't be lazy and don't wait. I read an article the other day and I posted it on my Instagram, which you can follow,
Yeah.
the Sheryl Lee Ralph, the Sheryl with an S, Lee Ralph. This woman was 94 years old. She was living in Illinois with her son because she had gotten sick. She's from Detroit. Her ballot never arrived in the mail for her to vote early.
Oh.
She said to her son, "You got to take me to Detroit." Her
Mm.
son drove her 300 miles to
Mm.
Detroit so that she could vote.
Because she understands. She's from an era who knows that it was so difficult, and it's such a blessing to be able to do so now.
Thank
It's
you.
a powerful thing.
I think we all people of African descent, whether you're from Africa in America, whether you're from the West Indies in America, whether you are African from slavery time in America, we understand what it is like to be the entertainment of white people in America. We
Mhm.
understand that there was a time, especially there in Florida, where white people used to go to church in the morning,
Mhm.
lynch a black man or woman in the afternoon,
Mm.
then go back to church in the evening and pray for forgiveness or get themselves some supper. So we know what it's like to be the strange fruit hanging
Mm.
from the tree. And those of us somewhere, it echoes in our being the fight, the struggle to be seen as a full human being and vote by using the power that I have at the end of my own arms. So I say to anybody, you're worried about your damn taxes, you damn fool.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
need to get yourself some education. You need to go back and ask your immigrant mother about her fight, about her struggle to be in and stay here in America so that you could be born to have these greater opportunities. Tell me, how much are you giving back to your mother's country? How much are you really giving back to the country of your birth so that others could have the access that you now have? Stop it. You're not that damn selfish. And to think how much I love all of your entertainment, you damn fool, you.
Sheryl Lee Ralph is with us today. I want to talk about your book really quickly before I let you go, Sheryl.
Yes.
Mrs. Sheryl Lee Ralph, could you please tell us a little bit about the new book and what it's about?
The book is called Redefining Diva 2.0. They're life lessons from me, the original dream girl, all about the beginning of my journey, where it is I started as I continue on the way. As I continue on my journey, what have I learned? What about the ups and the downs? What can you glean from my experience? So during Corona, I started reading from the written book. And people said, "Oh, no, no, no. Sheryl Lee Ralph, you have got to update this and give us the story with your voice." And I was like, you're right. So
Yes.
during Corona, in isolation, I started re-recording the book, updating the book, and now Audible heard about it and they were like, can you send us your book? I did,
Ooh,
and now the book is available on Audible,
wonderful.
Redefining Diva 2.0. I've heard that it makes a wonderful gift. So please go to Audible, download the book, listen, learn, be inspired, and share a copy with friends and family. Redefining Diva 2.0 by Sheryl Lee Ralph.
I am definitely going to make sure that I do that and tell our listeners to do that. I have to tell you, I love you in Ray Donovan. You have no idea.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
you in Ray Donovan. I also used to listen to your song. I don't know if you know this, but in the evening was the theme song of an evening people show in
Oh,
Jamaica.
absolutely. I
Right.
know.
Yes.
Never
Never
Willoughby
will. Yes.
was always
You got
very,
both.
very supportive of me. And
Yes.
when in the evening came out, he said, Cheryl, I'm using your song as my theme song. And I was like, yes, Uncle Neville, how can I say no? So I'm very thankful for that. In fact, Sunday evenings, 7 o'clock, you can listen to my digital talk show, Divas Simply Quarantined. Divas Simply Quarantined. Fabulous in isolation. And every evening on Sundays, 7 p.m., you can listen to my theme song in the evening and great conversations with
Oh.
incredible people that have so much to share.
That song was my theme song growing up, because I would listen to Never Willoughby in the car and at home with my grandmother. So it really is. And you did that song in 1984, which is the year I was born. So, so there you have it.
There
I
you
had
have it.
had to talk about that as a longtime fan, Moesha and beyond. And the fact that you have a Tony Award, you really have done the Caribbean American, the Jamaican Americans as well. Very, very proud. And we continue to cheer you on in everything that you do. I do have one request. I
What's
have
that?
I have a
Well,
young
wait. I have one request. I
yes,
need your listeners to follow me. I
yes,
need them to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is the Cheryl with an S, Sheryl Lee Ralph, the Sheryl Lee Ralph. And then from there, you can follow me everywhere else. But the Sheryl Lee Ralph. Follow.
the Sheryl Lee Ralph. And remember to check out Diva Simply Quarantine at 7. And make sure to go out and vote. I actually have a young man who works with me, and he is Haitian American, half Haitian, half Jamaican. And
Yes.
he's been operating for us here, and I always bring him in on my interviews just to represent the very young crowd, 20, 21, 19. And I just wanted to see if he had a question for you with regards to voting and that voting block, if you don't mind.
Well, that's bad problem. Donne-moi le
Okay.
question.
Okay, let me add it. Hey, go ahead quickly with your question.
Good afternoon, ma'am. It's an honor to speak to you. I have my mother here in
Bonjour.
the background, and when she heard your voice, she perked up. So thank you for all that you've done for the community,
Yeah.
representing us. I guess
Yeah.
my question would be, being a philanthropist, being first and foremost a top tier entertainer, when you made that transition to using your voice for issues that were a little bit more important, such as policy, such as getting out to vote. That first time, I know it probably didn't come out perfectly, but how did you make that decision? How do you inspire other entertainers to use their voice in a responsible way?
You know something? My choice to speak up was my choice to speak up. You know, being an immigrant's child coming to America, it was difficult. I mean, I think with that, you develop a tough skin because people would make fun of you. They would make fun of you the way you talk. They would make fun of you because you were geared towards success. I don't know about anybody else, but my grandmother, my grandmothers, my aunties on the Jamaican side, they were all about nobody waste your time. You're here. I don't send you to school to romp and play games. You go to school to study. And I don't care what other kind of grades anybody else is making. You must bring home an A, and a B is failure.
For real.
No, seriously. They drilled that into you, that you must succeed, that it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, you must succeed. That when you walk into that school, your granny, your auntie, your grandfather, we all are coming with you, and we need you to succeed. So the development of my voice came from that. I couldn't be afraid to raise my hand. I couldn't be afraid to speak up, because if I didn't, I knew I would be silent for the people that I represented. Now, little did I know that when I grew up and I was doing Dreamgirls on Broadway and HIV and AIDS hit, I had to speak out against that. And people were so unkind to me. They were so mean, and it seemed like everything that I had taught was being used against me as a good little church girl. And for me, I had to hold on to my voice. And I had to hold on, and I said, these are human beings like anybody else. And we cannot hate on them because of their differences or what we perceive them to be as different. And the last time I read the Bible, I chose to only read the red parts, the parts that Jesus himself was to have said. And I had to hold on to what I felt in my heart. So when it came to elections and politics, I was already versed in using my voice. I was already versed in speaking up. And I'd already been beaten, whipped with the words of others. I couldn't let them stop me. In fact, I had to embrace my haters, because my haters made me strong. But somebody said something about me yesterday. They said, don't be fooled by the way she looks. Don't be fooled by the animated personality. The woman carries an anvil of truth, and her truth floats. And I had to think about, my God, all of what she was saying. And to me, it was very deep. The truth may be heavy, but truth like hope, true words, true meaning, commitment, dedication. It floats to the top. It doesn't hold you down. It rises you up. And I can only keep on speaking my truth. En français, Espanol, Scoshini, Hongo, in all the languages I can learn, truth. So I
Thank
hope
you for
that
joining.
And merci bien.
You heard that, Jay?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it you say in Haiti? Not boule.
Sakase Nabule. Yes, ma'am.
Aha, there you have it. When I was doing claws, I had to learn the Haitian accent. It was difficult for me, but I tried. And I learned it, and I was working, and the Haitian said, you did a good effort. So
It's the thought that counts. We appreciate it. Trust.
Thank you.
It sounds good to me, but of course I'm not Haitian. Then when people try to do Jamaican accents, we do the same thing. So
that's right. Exactly.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this. You are welcome to come back anytime. Remember, people, it is Divas Simply Quarantine every Sunday at 7. Remember to follow Sheryl Lee Ralph at the Sheryl Lee Ralph on Instagram. So make sure you check her out there. And the book is called Redefining Diva 2.0. She gave you a lot of today.
And vote like your life depends upon it. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I'm voting for Biden and Harris, and I hope you join me. Biden and Harris for the change that we need. Let freedom ring, people.
Let freedom reign. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us on Island Fever. If you're listening to us on Island Fever FM, we're going back to the music right now. And if you are here with us on our live stream on Island Fever Live, thank you so much for joining us. Please leave us a few comments and go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thank you for joining us, Mrs. Sheryl Lee Ralph. Jay, as usual, big up yourself. Big up Jamaica and the Caribbean. Island Fever.
All of the Caribbean, all of you we Caribbean people from the Rock of Nevis, Aruba, all across the Caribbean to Jamaica, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, all of the Caribbean come out. Your Caribbean Americans, we need your vote. Vote like your life depends upon it. Biden and Harris for me. May I vote for that West Indian woman in a Kamala Harris? Yes, Jamaica, big up yourself. You're nice.
Hey, thank you so much. Right now, we're going to end the broadcast. You can stick around, Mrs. Ralph, for a second. But thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Island Fever FM.